G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to War Thunder. Today we're going to be having a look at what is probably the best battle of War Thunder that I've ever played. This is the J21A-1, and it is the highest kill game that I've ever gotten in War Thunder. It's also one of the most thrilling games that I've actually played in War Thunder. Again, I have covered the J21A-1 at least twice on this channel in the last couple of weeks. I'm going to cover it again, just because this match was particularly special. The J21A1, as a recording, currently sits at 3.0. It sits in a good matchmaker. It's also the best in class at dogfighting, as in Wolfpack dogfighting, for the simple reason of it being good at energy retention and mediocre at turning, meaning that its energy in a turn doesn't really lose as much speed. It doesn't lose speed in turns as much as others would. In verticals, it suffers. It doesn't quite do as well. But if you have a wolf pack, you tend to come out of it more often than not. It's one of those planes that just works in a dogfight, just because of its quirky design. It's also a lot better at turning when it's fast than when it's slow. It also doesn't have amazing vertical energy retention. And finally, it has some of the best guns at its tier. Pretty much equal, if not slightly better than the P38 Lightning. The P38 Lightning has 4 50 caliber machine guns and 1 ANM2 machine gun. Cannon, rather. So it packs a punch, but this particular plane has 13.2s, which are slightly bigger and slightly slower. So, I feel personally that it's a side grade, and the cannon as well is more or less the same. Side grade. The J21A1 is the plane that I have put myself in grind mode for. I haven't ground out a lot for it, and as you've seen in multiple other videos, I think it is the most enjoyable plane in the entire Swedish tree. It's just the perfect tree to play with friends. The whole tree, the whole tech tree from top to bottom is better with friends. You play in a wolf pack, you will have an absolute blast every single time. It doesn't matter if this plane doesn't climb as well. It doesn't matter if it doesn't turn as well. It sort of does a little bit of everything. And it's kind of weird like that. But I really enjoy it. And I put myself to grind for the skin. There's a skin in game that you can get with, I think it was 200 kills. And I managed to get them. Obviously there's a 3 times multiplier for ARB. So I ended up getting something like 80 or 90 kills, but over the last 2 or 3 days of playing this plane, when this footage was recorded, I had a blast. I had an absolute blast playing this plane. I'd get regular ace games. I sometimes would die with 1 or 2 kills, but most of the times would die with more than 3 kills. And, I would consider myself a slightly above average pilot. I would consider myself not that amazing. So, to those people that sit in a squad of 2 or 3, play properly, you could get an insane set of statistics from this. This plane is very capable. It's just, I don't know if it's, the best for a beginner. I would definitely say if you're not experienced, play it in a team, because you will have more fun. And you'll see exactly what happens in this footage. It's one of those planes that you just can't solo in as much. Although, I soloed in this, but I'm also working with my team. I'm going to try and do my best. I keep going on about teamwork, but you've seen in previous videos exactly how it pulls things off. It is incredible. It is nothing but incredible how these particular planes, especially, are the pure embodiment of teamwork. And exploiting them to their best potential involves working together with your team. You're going to see me do a little bit of that here. And you're also going to see me, trying to help teammates get off their ass and sort of get into the dogfight. But we're going to start off with a Betty bomber. You can see it there, the G4M1. I'm going to try and intercept it, but the problem with this particular plane is it doesn't climb well. If it had an air spawn, it would be insane. You'd have to put it at 3.7. But honestly, it's fine here. It's fine here. I don't think it needs any changes. I'm still going to try and go vertical for the G4 and try and get it. But you can see I don't have a lot of speed left. And as much energy retention as this thing has, it's not going to take me that far. I might squeeze a couple shots off. I might get a couple hits. But you shouldn't really be helicoptering up to bombers like this, especially ones with 20 mils in the rear. I would definitely not advise doing that. It's not entirely the best decision. Not only that, but there are fighters that have to be dealt with as well. And the fighters are kind of more important. And I should be going for those fighters. But I'm going to put myself into level flight, get speed, and hopefully I'll come through and take out these guys. So, you can see pretty much everyone who is heading roughly in my direction is closing the distance. The J21 isn't fast. It's not particularly remarkable. Although, you'll see exactly how this pans out. BF-109, that is a BF-109 E7 by the way. That has the pretty much exact same performance as the E4. I'm going to go for a quick hit on. We trade a couple shots. I miss. And then I'm going to put the plane into a right-hand turn. Try and fake that I'm going up or down. And he'll put his plane into a right-hand turn as well. And now it's just a matter of who gets their guns on. The BF-109 puts himself into a vertical dive real quick. And then realizes his mistake, evades, and I miss. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn away from him, try and get a little bit of speed, and then go for the re-engage. It's going to work a little bit, but it puts me at a severe energy disadvantage, or an altitude disadvantage, against the rest of the opponents on my enemy team. The moment the 109 pulls off, I think I'm going to go for it. I think I need to go for it. What are you doing? Go for it. Come on. There we go. Oh, okay. I don't really want to budge, it seems. This is very simple. I'm trying to lead this BF-109 back to my team. Because if I can't kill him, then there's a higher chance that I'll be refragged, if you will. For lack of a better phrase. I'm going to go for the quick head-on again. The 109 doesn't really want to deal with that. Because, yeah. 13.2s and 20 mils. It's beautiful. It's truly beautiful. The way this plane just deals damage to opponents. It's just got so much damage potential. These guns are fantastic, to say the least. But for good guns, you get a little bit worse performance. And that's exactly what the problem is. Speaking of problems, this Betty bomber is looking tasty again, and I'm starting to get distracted by Bettys again. Not really what I kind of want to go for. But I'm going to squeeze off some more ammunition onto the G4. Hopefully get a kill out of that. But we'll see as time goes along. Now, you might be seeing the enemy team and going, well, you guys are doing fairly well. What could possibly go wrong? Well, it's all about to go wrong now. You see, allied teams are not great at keeping their energy because their planes are a little bit... They require a bit more discipline. And you can see the Betty has now gone... it's now being chased. It's pretty much gone. And so what I'm going to do is head over to the Ki-44 instead, try and save this P-39. With the P-39 all saved, I'm going to go on to some other targets here you can see that are above me. This is going to be a bit of a problem. My team has started to fall apart. Zero there takes out the Hurricane, and we've got the LA-5 at low altitude. We've got a couple more teammates that aren't quite going to make it, and are slowly but surely falling apart. There goes another. It's all happening. And in literally a couple minutes, it goes from pretty good to holy fucking hell, I'm going to need to carry the shit out of this. And yeah, BF-109s, Ki-61s, Yaks, you name it. They're all coming for me. So, what am I going to do? This plane needs a team. I'm going to have to pull something out of my ass to get us through. Well, I don't really have time to think about it because the Ki-61 comes in, and so I'm going to turn under him. I'm going to cut underneath, and then try and go for the BF-109. Hopefully, the Ki-61 overshoots, and he does. So I'm going to try and make the most of this. Try and take out the BF-109. It's an E1. The Ki-61 is coming back, and maybe now I've got a 2v1. This is something that is a bit more winnable than a 4v1, and maybe I can take the opportunity to maybe take out the Ki-61. Ki-61 is coming around, and this gives me an opportunity to spray him down, and I get a critical hit. I'm going to extend, try and get a little bit of distance between the BF-109E, but it's not working. It's not working at all. The J21 is not a particularly fast plane. It doesn't seem to be speedy at all, and yeah, it's not really working out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get my teammates to, come over and have some fun with these guys. In the meantime, taking out perhaps the BF-109, perhaps the Yak. I consider the BF-109 in this case to be the more important target. It's an E7U2. I get a critical hit on him, and that leaves him pretty much damaged for the most part. Very damaged. Yak 1 is going to come back, and the BF-109E is going to come back, which I didn't see until the last second, so I'm going to quickly turn around, try and survive that. Very, very nearly get taken out. You can see my pilot there. The Yak 1 is going to come for the same thing. I'm going to try and evade that as well, and I've just managed to. So, with the 109E on my ass, I think, well, fuck, this is it. I've got nothing else left. I better just, resort to defensive flying. So, I try and get this guy off my 6, and because it's low tier, it kind of works. He gets sort of bored, fed up. Maybe he'd rather go for the P-39, and the Yak 1 does pretty much the same thing. He's getting close, except the Yak is a little bit lighter, so I'm going to have a lot more trouble shaking him. I'm going to put myself in, use some rudder, use some elevator, and hopefully I can also get this BF-109E off my 6, and he did, but he went for the P-39 and took him out. I wish I could have saved that P-39, because he would have been extremely helpful. Now I have 3 enemies on my 6, and it's getting really difficult. 2 of them are damaged, and so if I can take 2 of them out, and that's when I spot the Key 61. The LA-5 has tried to, finish off my Key 61 and has failed miserably. So you know what? I'm going to go down, kill it, and hopefully that'll bring the enemies with me to a lower energy state. It'll also bring the LA-5 closer to me, allowing me to have a better chance at pulling through. And the LA-5, of course. So I take some more hits, maybe go back for that Key 61, because, it looks tasty. E7 comes in. He also looks tasty, but he evades my shots. The LA-5 is hard focused on my old Kai 61, and he gets set on fire by the BF-109E. I almost smash into the LA-5, but you know what? I'm just going to stick with this E7 until I can take him out. And there we go. I managed to take out the E7. It's just the Yak left. What we're going to do is take ourselves into a vertical a little bit, maybe go around, put ourselves into a flat turn. You can see the Yak 1 is a little bit lower on energy than you might have expected. That's probably because he's got a damaged engine. You can see that from the smoke trailing out of the back of his plane. I can put myself into a vertical now very comfortably, knowing that the Yak 1 can't follow. And there we have it. Yak 1 comes into the vertical with me, and that is pretty much all she wrote. There's no way that he can get out of this. The P-40 comes in and tries to, finish it off. That's fine. But he gets set on fire, and that is, what, kill number 5? Kill number 6? I think it's kill number 5. Whew! That was intense. That was ridiculously intense, and it didn't really need to be that intense, but you know what, we got through it, and oh my god. Sometimes you just, unfortunately, you have to use your teammates as bait. Other times, you try and save your teammates, but it's just too late. I tried both, and one of them worked. Unfortunately, I couldn't save the P-39, but that's fine. This P-40 here, despite trying to yoink my kill, he's going to be extremely useful. And you might think, you're just being a bit toxic there, but no, you'll see how this guy more than makes up for everything, and you'll see exactly what I mean. Hopefully, so far this has been fairly entertaining. I think this match had me absolutely laser focused on the game. There aren't many matches that I play where I'm super laser focused. Now with something like 6,500 hours under my belt, it does get not monotonous, but it does get you see the same sort of thing over and over again. But I've never come across this before. This match, completely different to anything that I've ever played. Well, maybe not everything, but most things. So I can see that there's a 109 taking out AA, and I'm thinking he's probably going to be in the center, right? Because there's the A point, there's plenty of soft targets there. Surely I'd be able to, pick him up. Oh boy. And that's when the blind hunt and the BF-109 comes out of the sky. Oh boy, this is going to be interesting. Time to dogfight with a BF-109. I'm going to enjoy this because I do love a good dogfight, and I think that's a BF-109F. But then I see the trail, the vapor trail, and a Zero comes out of nowhere. I haven't seen this guy all game, and he's closing the distance, and he's getting that distance very, very quickly. Oh my god, what is going on here? The BF-109 even fires rockets at me. That makes it an F2? An F2. There we go. So, I am absolutely panicking right now. I have no idea what to do with the Zero. I have to extend for the Zero. And this is when the P40 comes in. This guy turns from what I thought was just, a dirty kill stealer to an absolute legend. He gets something off me that would have otherwise run me down and not allowed me to take the Zero off my 6. Now, all I need is for the Zero to get distracted by something. Something P40 sized. Fireball, baby. There he goes. A6M2 is no more. Crab Rave. So, I go for the head-on quickly with the BF-109 F2. The F2 has a 15mm cannon instead of a 20mm cannon in the nose, and I'm going to start up a rolling scissors. Try and get this guy in, try and go for the kill, and I can't quite make the kill shot first time round, which is fine. Because I have the 109 doing bigger circles around me, I'm able to sort of dictate which way the dogfight goes, and I get that. Oh my god, it's going to get better from here. That guy, that P40, absolute bloody legend. He completely turned the match around by killing that Zero, distracting that 109. So, we're going to go for the Heinkel 111. And I hope you guys watched my previous video on the J21, because you'll know exactly how the Heinkel 111 fares to the guns of the J21. There it goes. Nothing left of it, because it hits the ground and dies. But the Heinkel 111 is not exactly a durable bomber. Yet, here it goes. Absolutely smashed to smithereens. The J21, for me, embodies exactly what I like in a plane. Something that is good for teamwork, something that is good for guns, good bomber hunter, if you can get the altitude. So, we're on to the last remaining teammate. We're on kill number 7, trying to make it kill number 8, and unfortunately, the P40E died. I think he got his engine taken out by some ground AA, or ran out of fuel. I can't quite remember which one. But this particular BF-109 is trying to drain my tickets. I don't want you to drain my tickets, so we're going to go for a quick head-on. Quick, spicy head-on. Get some speed. I had to put my throttle down, because otherwise I would overspeed, and now I'm going to go into a vertical. I made a bit of a risky-bisky move here. I shouldn't have done that extra turn that made me bleed a bit more energy. You can see that is absolutely hounding me. If he had the 15mm up, or if he had a 20mm, I probably would have died here and lost the entire game. But he stalls out, and that allows me to perform a rope-a-dope. Here he goes, nice and slow. I get a hit, I get a critical hit, and he's going down into the ground. Set him on fire. That'll be the last of him. 8-kill game. Holy shit, what a clutch. And all thanks to that P40 and the P39. Sometimes you can't do it without your team. And I have to give credit to my team where it's due here. That P40 especially absolutely saved my life. And I absolutely love him for it. So, if you're watching Mr. P40, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to show everyone else this 8-kill game. The J21 for me is just further proof of why the J21A is a good plane. This is why I love it. This is why I keep playing it, and this is why I unlocked the final skin for it. If you haven't got the opportunity to grind it yet, when the Swedish tree finally comes out of closed beta test, go for it. 100% worth it. There is no doubt in my mind that this plane is one of the best planes that you can play in the Swedish tech tree. Anyway, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, have a good one, and I'll catch you next time.